Let me just see how it looks, and then if it doesn't look very good, I'll just finish up there, I think. Because there's going to be a lot of management to try and get the right scaling and all that. And I don't know if it's worth it, or even going to look good in the end. Because now I got to get these in the exact point I want. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be worth it. We'll try. Might even have to rotate a tiny bit. There we go. Just the scaling some more. And then try and get this connected. If it'll let me. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably why I'm using the wrong axis. I am using the wrong axis there, so it's throwing me off. So, is that too big? Probably too big, but I kind of need as big as it is, because once it starts getting too small, it's not going to look like it connects properly. It looks decent, it's just the way it curves is not ideal to me. Let's see. If I have it curving frontward, does that help fix it? I'll let you know once I get it back in place, because that's one of the odd, annoying things about trying to rotate these things. I like that. I like that a lot. Is it worth having like 2 more sets of those though? Or can I have another tentacle-like piece to connect? That looks like that has 2 connection points, so I don't think that'll do. Because it's transparent, it's kind of odd though. That has an end to it, so heck, I could have used that instead, quite frankly, to kind of be that point I want. But this could work. This could work. It's going to be a little bit slower, but we're almost done at least. I just want to flesh out the wings to kind of make them look better, that's all. Because how it abruptly ends. And I'm not really fond of it. It kind of sucks not having my mouse appear too, but I'll try my best to explain this as I do it. Just rotate everything. And because of how it's not actually a circular shape, so I need to be careful of that too. So I need to do kind of proportional scaling to make sure it fits in properly. Because that's more of an oval rather than a circular shape. So let me do that proportional scaling now. Was it x-axis? No, x is apparently up. No, I need Z. Let me try make this more circular. It does ruin everything else, technically. At least how it looks, so there's going to be a little bit of experimentation here. And well, pretty much design everything, I guess, is trial and error to an extent. So we're almost connected. We're just going to have to rotate and then adjust the scaling appropriately. And let's see, I'm trying to figure out if my axes are going in the right direction or not. Oh, yeah, turning off proportional scaling just resets everything. That's good to know, I guess. Now we fit that in, so there's not really much overlap, if any. Hopefully. Because I could see a tiny bit there. But I like that regardless. It just feels like it needs to go in a bit more. And of course I'm kind of worried about how it'll ruin the wing a bit unless I change the scaling even further. That's my big worry there. And of course every time I change the scaling with proportional scaling I have to adjust everything else in the process. Because now, if you look really carefully, this extension I just put on there is actually smaller than the wing metal frame, which I'm not really fond of. Now, That helped made the wing look better. Do I want to do anything with this final connector piece? Is there anything I can do with the final connector piece? Because that's the piece I just used, so I could use that. I don't know if I want to use another one with this orange, with like the skin-like color. Because that might look odd. I think I want to make another metal piece, so... Can I find another like antenna-like or wider structure that has an end to it? Because with these transparent, it's kind of hard to tell. Nope, that's not it. I'm not really seeing anything else with like an end, so I may have to use this piece again. Although I gotta say, having big massive antennas like that on the wings doesn't look too terribly bad, I gotta say. It doesn't look bad at all. But that's not what its purpose is. But it does help enhance the look, especially with like the Ferrari like exhaust ports. Or the excessive exhaust ports, I guess. It kind of fits that theme a little bit. Which kind of makes me wish this was more like a more fighter ship there, because then they would be able to justify it, considering how mobile and nimble the small fighters you would think would be in comparison to these bigger cruisers. Now, the fun of having to rotate everything and figure out what the hell angles I want. And of course, talking doesn't help because it's multitasking at its finest, I gotta say. Or at its worst, take your pick. Because I'm trying to do this and constantly talk for maybe an hour or so, just trying to build this thing. And hope that it doesn't look awful in the end. That's really all I can say about it. So, need to be rotated a bit more, scale it some more. But it's almost coming together. Now the question is, how do I want to stick out? Do I want to stick straight out or not? I think I'm good with it sticking straight out and then curving. It's just gonna make sure when I offset it looks proper. Because I don't want it to stick out too much, do I? That and the fact it's not centered. And when I center it, that piece there sticks out too much. Which is typical. Way to have to ruin this stupid oval connector piece. You're ruining everything. Alright. Almost there. Just gotta make it look as flush as possible. Sticks out maybe a bit too much, quite frankly, so I may need to adjust that some. That looks better. They're almost like hooks there a little bit, which makes me wonder, do I want to change the proportional scaling some on these other pieces or not? I don't want to ruin it too much because of the hassle I had, but that seems okay. And hopefully, when I include the engines in our components, it will look even better. Now, what the hell do I call this damn thing? Because I was working on this thing, trying to make this thing look decent, and I don't have an actual name for it now. So I'll get back to you on that. Alright, it's a bit generic. It helps if I spell properly. But we're just going to call it straight up Beetle there. That way we have room to kind of like, for different kind of like medium ships, we can give it different type of Beetle names maybe, since this would be the original design, which is the thought process I'll be going with. Not a very exciting name, it's very generic, like most of the other ones I've had, but I'm kind of okay with it. Oops, and I named it poorly too. Apparently it didn't. Yeah, it looks like it's spaced there, but apparently it wasn't. So, go figure. Oops, and I gave an escort type, so that did not go very well. Alright, let's try this one more time. I want this to be a capital ship. So, you are not an escort ship, you are a capital ship. We do not need a massive cruiser being an escort ship, thank you. So, I did save that, right? This is a capital ship, okay. Because it's named the same, with overridden it. Okay. That's good to know. It's not bad. There's a lot of rough spots though, but it seems like a little more fleshed out. Especially with these little cosmetic things, just for the sake of filling in some holes there, like the engine here, the tip of the wing. It's all fleshing out. Slowly but surely. So, the seam there is, I kind of need to add more. So far, it seems like I need to actually have hyperdrive of some form there. The question is, can I afford to put ion drive on here now? I probably could, because I'm only going to have a small handful of these engines, or ships. And it can fit in such a way, if I can have it select the hex I want, to fit in the middle there. Like that. And it doesn't look too bad. I just need to offset it appropriately. And then no one's the wiser. It is a tight fit though, needless to say. But it works to an extent. Actually, I kind of do want to fit in top like that. Maybe change the scaling just a tiny bit so it doesn't feel like it's wedged between those two side engines. A little bit. I'd probably want to stick out. It's hard to say just when you thought you were finished, and then only to find out you need to kind of make room for all the actual components you're going to use for this ship. It risks to undermine all the effort I put into it. So let's see. I don't have much choices of weapons here, and I don't think I care about these thrusters too much. I think I want to save those for my swarmers, considering they're like the only ships at the moment that don't actually use any type of interstellar drive, so they're more like a defensive, slower type of ship, which I think I'm okay with. So that's the drive. We don't have much prototype weapons unless I want to use prototype Delirium, which of course, until I get like upgrade refineries, I'm not going to be able to get very many of these ships. But again, oh, who am I kidding? The Xalans already have kinetic or like armor plating, so this is completely pointless, quite honestly. And I don't have upgraded lasers just yet, so its damage potential is actually going to be a little bit low, which is kind of sad. But this is only the basic design. I may wait a bit until I get better weaponry before I actually commit to mass producing these things, but I do want them available so I can immediately get to building them at a moment's notice. Now the question is, where the hell do I put the lasers? Because I gotta... If I were to put lasers on here, I'm gonna have a handful of them. Heck, I could have put them on the wing there, or the tip. Almost. Actually, I have an idea here. If I adjust the scaling and rotate properly, because it's not rotated ideally. Oh, and it has its like own little stand base, so maybe I could do that. Just attach it to the wing there. Maybe that can look like it shoots. I was thinking of putting the front there, but since it has a little base attachment to it, then maybe might be ideal to put it there on top of the wing. I'll have to adjust scaling some, because these things aren't really all that powerful anyway, so it's not like it's a bad thing to have more than one, or a lot of them, or have a smaller even. I just gotta remember the scaling I just have for these things. 44. Adjust the scaling as such, and of course adjust it. Kind of like one of the more pointless things maybe to do, because I'm gonna have a bunch of these things, and they don't offer much else. It's just a little bit of damage, because I kind of want to put 3 of these things on. And again, I would like to put them in the front. but because of that damn base, it's because it's sticking out in the front there, it kind of ruins it a little bit, honestly. Can I overlook that though? I wonder. And just have these lasers connecting in the front. That would look better. Although these are more turrets than frontal lasers anyway. Even though they don't look like they can rotate very well. These ships are going to be firing full 360-degree axis anyway, so it doesn't really matter where I really put them. So I probably will put a third one on there, but let's see what are the things I could put on. I don't need cargo modules. Life support could be an option because these are more my spearhead. So they're ideally going to be looking for a window and then pushing their advantage some. And the better life support there, even though it costs more, is the same mass, so that's probably what I want to do. Because I don't think I want to have too many of them. And armor. And I have point defense there, so I almost wonder if I want to put 2 of those on. What kind of defense do I get? 12 versus 8. It has a lot more maintenance there. It's almost, yeah, it's the same maintenance as deflectors, so it's still pretty good. Do I want to have 2 of them though? Because yeah, I think point defense will easily negate the damage potential of 1 frigate. I don't need to actually overkill it, do I? Well, we'll see how my mass looks. Let me just get one of these things chast on here first off, because it doesn't seem to be working. We'll fix the scaling as per usual, and we'll just adjust it a little bit so it's not on that like little metal line there to kind of overlap it. So do I want one more? And that's the main question. I could almost go with a chaff just to make it not as drastic and with the benefit of less maintenance, but what does it cost? It seems about equivalent there. 69 points cost. The mass though, it's the same mass, but if necessary I can easily change that if necessary. So I'm feeling good about just leaving it as is. And then change it later on to kind of get a little more value out of it as necessary, but oops, I am messing this up already. I keep doing that with the axes for some reason. Not sure why, but I do. I probably want that more deeper in. Kind of like in the inner wing. If I could stop moving the y-axis, there we go. Because I don't expect to actually have too many of these ships, so what I want to do is just make them have like a handful of them, but be very potent at what they do. So 20 defense, that is quite significant. I think I'm happy with that. Maintenance is looking at 2.3, so if I can get 2, maybe 3 of these, and because I think I'm only going to get like 3, maybe 40 ships total. Because the not the Firefly, but the Moths are going to be very efficient at like dealing with isolated groups of them. But what I have in mind here for the Beetle is just overwhelmingly destroy their frigates. Which, come to think of it, do I want a deflector on here as well? Probably not. I honestly don't think I want deflectors, because I know they have a few laser ships, but they have so many oaths with their missile dependencies that I probably don't care about the deflector. And the maintenance would boost up even more, which is something I need to be concerned about. And, well, that wouldn't actually increase my mass too much, so it may not be a bad idea. And I actually have plenty of turns to prepare. It seems like with my negotiator trait, so I actually have time to build them regardless of the cost, I suppose. I just need a lot more ships, is the thing. I want one more laser weapon. I'm definitely looking forward to upgrading my lasers well before I actually decide to start up making these things, but hopefully hopefully that won't take too long. Where do I want to put these damn final lasers though? Because not using all the mass is not necessarily a bad thing, considering it'll help reduce the cost or the time to build them anyway. I just don't know where to put these final lasers. Or this final laser at. Not to mention it's a bit difficult to actually put in like where I'm thinking of putting it. This would be more of a turret laser, I guess. Just leave it on. Oops, god damn it. I don't even remember what scale that was. I want the lasers and apparently it didn't give me that. Which is annoying. Which is really annoying. Yeah, it seems like I just don't know where I want to put that, because I was hoping to connect to that circular piece, but apparently the portion that looks like the base is actually only on the front there. That little round section, which I thought all this time was like the base of it. Apparently not. Otherwise, it's a really awkward base to put anything on. It's not working very well. Don't know what I'm gonna do about this. Oops. Now the camera's all messing up on me, damn it. The last thing I need. We're so close to finishing too. Alright. Is that where I want it? Bigger lasers, so kind of need to rotate it, I guess, to make it kind of be more flush in with that superstructure there. And I guess that's the best I can do. Seems a bit awkward to hit. Huh. Everything looks pretty good otherwise. I hope I didn't ruin that scaling too much there for that one piece underneath the lasers though. But it doesn't seem too out of place, at least, so. And again, it decides to put it as a escort ship. I don't want that. So, we finally got our Beetle. Not a very impressive, mind you, with all the weaponry there. Because it kind of needs, it feels like it needs bigger guns than just lasers that do 2 points of damage. But it's got the armor, the durability. Let's see, its cost 267 versus the Moth 133, so easily double the cost for only how much health? 50 additional health, so double the health. So, and it's got a massive amount of durability. It's got more movement speed, so it's going to catch and be able to outrun anything. So, with 3-4 these things, and probably I'm going to have like a utility ship with it of some kind I'll have to make soon that will give it its sensor vision. But, that is our Beetle. I'm actually liking the overall concept of it. Lots of rough spots that kind of need to be fleshed out, but it seems like an improvement over my last ships, the Moth, and of course the Firefly, which just seems like a bulky mess, which still looks like more of a capital ship. Quite ironically, I don't know if that's the right term for it, than the Beetle. The Firefly looks more of a capital ship. Just putting it out there. But thank you for watching. Now let's get ready to fight the Sailins. Well, not yet, but soon.